we're seriously missing out on so much of what's going on. I mean, if you look at just the news media, you'll see that what's going on in the States is very much state-based. You really have to put your fingers out into the broader pool to come across, some really information that's going on in terms of the global sphere. But here's the thing about a gap year. A gap year doesn't have to be just within the States. Now, one of the things that I've come across from parents, the most common fear is that their child is going to not go on to college afterwards. That's the most common statistically. And Carl Hagler and Ray Nelson, they wrote this great book, The Gap Year Advantage. If you're really curious about it, it's a great thing to have at your fingertips. I think I saw a copy in the library, actually. It's one of those things that you can have at your fingertips just for great resources. It sort of lists some sample gap years. It also lists things that have worked and gives feedback on what parents and children have said about completing one. But this is from the New York Times, and one of the things that I like to point to is the statistics here. 30% of freshmen don't see their sophomore year. And then you go down a little bit further, and only 35% of students graduate in 4 years. 35%. Now, with the gap year, those numbers increase through the roof. They're still collecting data on what those numbers are actually looking like. But one of the things that I've heard is that to address that specific concern about who's actually going to complete college, go back to college, within 6 months of completing a gap year, and there's a broad definition here between structured gap year and sort of, willy-nilly, I'm going to work some, I'm going to hang out at home, I'm going to do this. I think to do a well-placed gap year, you're really looking at doing some sort of structure. And there's a variety of ways to do that. They don't have to be paid, you don't have to pay $50,000 to do that. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But within 6 months of completing a structured gap year, 80% of the students are in university. Within 1 year of completing a gap year, 90% of students are in university. And the other 10%, it actually turns out, is sort of normal attrition having to do with students that are, either family crisis comes up, or funding suddenly drops out, or they move, just whatever variety of things come up. But within 1 year, 90% are actually back in university. My own experience coming back to university after taking my time away in India, Nepal, and Tibet, I had my professors, they look at me like, who are you? Like, what happened? I came back with my shaved head, right? So, yeah, first of all, who are you? Like, really, who are you? And then I took a broader curiosity. Like, I remember I came back and I'd sit in a classroom. I had this great film class, and my professor, Ken Nolly,